They talked about device support also. I heard them mention iOS 27 supports the same phones as iOS 26. Um, and I did find that interesting that they said iOS and iPhones, and they did not say iPadOS and iPads.
Oh, well,
So I have not
good point.
checked, but I'll be curious to see if they drop some iPads or
Interesting.
an
Interesting.
iPad.
I didn't pick up on that detail. I liked the to the device standpoint with iOS and phones. The prioritization of sending data and low connectivity, when you're trying to send a photo and then you're trying to send another text messages and
Yes.
nothing is going through, that was really smart. And then the smarter switching from Wi-Fi to cellular, it seems like
Right.
the
I mean,
phone just wants
we'll
to
have to
grab
see how
Wi-Fi.
these things work in practice, but they sound good. That the one with messages was, if you haven't heard it, it was, if you go to send a message with, let's say, a large photo and it takes a long time, it doesn't stop all your other messages from going through. Instead, something just flashed on my screen. Sorry. But instead, you'll get a little progress bar on that item while your other messages will still get sent. So
That
that's
was a
kind of
nice.
cool.
These are some nice little quality of life improvements that I think will be beneficial. Overall, my impression of the general keynote, they spent a lot of time talking about that their not age range necessarily, but the child protection
Right. The trust and
features.
safety. And it seemed like they had an awfully long wind up to get to the point on those. Like they talked on about that stuff for a long time. And it seemed at first, my first thought was like, aren't they just repeating the same things we've always seen in terms of just parental controls, that kind of thing? And I did notice at least a couple things that they added. They've added an ask to browse. So right now you can turn on or off Safari for your kid, but instead you'll be able to, the child will be able to say, oh, I want to go to whatever,
Website.
wonderpets.com or something.
Yeah.
And you'll get this thing saying they want to browse to Wonder Pets, and you can say yes or no. Same thing with messaging individual people in iMessage. And then I know they had a school time function before, but now they've got this concept it looked like from the screenshots of, before school, during school, after school, and then non-school days being all separate categories that you could adjust settings for individually.
Yeah. It's a lot of granularity, and I'd honestly be surprised. Just people in my circles, granted, maybe I'm a bit older, I'm 48 years old. People in my circles, I would guess that they are not going to spend the time to dig that deep in the granularity. But then again, my kids are older, so I'm a bit out of the target market for this. But just knowing how well people dive into those little fuzzy details, I don't know. I think it's going to be more work for a lot of people, but hopefully it's a welcome addition. From my perspective, running a social network, I get why they're doing this. Like there is a lot of laws coming around throughout the world in the United States, but then in various countries are implementing age verification laws. And so Apple is doing what they can to help developers to comply with these as easily as possible. I personally use the age range verification API, and that's pretty straightforward.
Right. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that in apps just because of, like you said, all the laws. And I think a lot of people still haven't really seen that much.
Right. Yeah. So I get why they're doing it. It was a large chunk of the keynote.
But it seemed like, it was an awfully big amount of time. Like, wow, they must be doing something really gigantic. And it didn't seem that gigantic. Maybe I've underestimated it, but we'll see. Photos is supposed to have photos shared albums are now supposed to have you can invite your Windows and Android friends to share your photo library. And it also talked about full resolution sharing. I guess there was some down resolution photo sharing thing happening. I'm not really sure, but because I don't use that. Maps app had some pretty flyover.
That was nice. It was a nice demo. Higher resolution. What was it? They said like
I don't know. It looked pretty. I wrote down that it was pretty, and that was kind of what I got out of it.
Yeah. And then there was a lot of demo of the new and improved Siri, which I'll be honest, Drew, I didn't really see a big change with the Siri. Their demos were. I appreciated that the fact that their demos were realistic. They didn't speed up anything.
Oh goodness! I hope they